All right, so what we got here is a Kubota 2650 tractor that we're getting ready to do our 400-hour service on. So I'm going to go over everything here. I'm going to start working on the simple stuff, and I'll show you guys what you need to do. Sound good? We're at 394, 395 almost. When you do your fuel filter, you want to make sure that you're half a tank or below. So that's one of the first things that we're going to be doing, is we're going to swap out the fuel filter down here, change it, okay? And then we're going to work on changing our oil. All right. We have a new air cleaner to install. Man, like doing all the simple stuff here. The engine and the engine oil. We have the transmission fluid and the filters and all that stuff to do. But like I said, right now we are going to just work on doing the simple stuff. So we're going to do the fuel filter. We will be adjusting the brakes. So one thing at a time. All right, it's a little hard to see, but right down here is where the fuel filter is. I have a drain pan down here, so this thing just unscrews. Pressure holds it, so it doesn't release fuel. So it's actually a pretty easy one. Right, like that. All right, there's a little bit in the bottom here. It actually looks like it might be some dirt, but we'll get that cleaned out too. I'm going to try to reuse these O-rings that are on here. Alright, even though I do have new ones if I need them. Big one and a small one. So what I do is normally I just take a pair of vice grips and I pop this thing out. Just keeps wanting to drip stuff everywhere. Like that. There's a replacement one. I'm going to take and clean this out. Alright, ready to go. So we'll take our new one. And these have notches on the sides. And there's notches here. So it'll slide right down in there, like that. And the O-ring, I'm just going to wipe it off. Double check it, make sure it's still fine. Install that there. And there's a little one here in the middle. Just use a little pick, get it out. Double check it. Install it right in the middle. Okay, now when I start screwing this on here, there's actually a pressure release which allows the fuel to flow through. Okay, and when you're doing this, what you want to do is you'll see it start to come. Let this fill up till the point where it starts to come out. That way you know your fuel system's bled out. Just like that. There we go. Nice and clean. Get down in here. See how nice and clean that is? We did actually have somewhat dirtier looking filter down here. But nice, clean, ready to go. So now I'm doing the oil filter. I write on there what it takes. I have one of these tools. Works pretty good. So I mean, you can get a hold of it with something else because it sticks out right here. It was actually quite a while since I did this, and this is all going by the book. So we're pretty much right around the time when you're supposed to change this oil. Where are we at here? Engine oil and filter. All right, so we're right here. We're working on this one right there. So engine oil filter and engine oil. All right, so they're right there. Like I said, I did them at my 200-hour service, which was, you can see, 194 0.7. So that's 195, and we're now doing it at 395. So I'm going to get a rag, I'm going to clean that up, and then I'm going to put this filter on. Alright, so there's actually two plugs, alright? Now the thing with these is they both have little compression washers on them, so you have to be very careful not to lose those. Alright, I'll show you what I mean and where the plugs are located. Right up there, two plugs. Alright, it's the drive shaft here for the front. Runs down through underneath the pan there. I'm going to finish the draining this stuff, and I'll show you the oil we're putting in. There's actually, it's kind of funny. There's two places you can put oil in. Down here, or up here. This is just easier for me to access through the side of the tractor. So you need 5 quarts. So we have a gallon here and a quart. So we're going to put that stuff in. You know, here's your dipstick back there to check your level. But we're going to put this in. I'm going to worry about checking that stuff later because I know I'm going to be starting the engine to do other things. And when you do that, you actually want to start the tractor and then let it sit for longer than 5 or 10 minutes or while it's sitting. So basically, we could actually fill this up and then check it because you really don't have to start these. Next up, our oil. Here's our air cleaner. Or air filter, sorry, excuse me. Cleans the air, let it breathe. Alright, just pop these off. Right there. Here's our old R filter. Alright. Here's our new R filter. Now you can see what they look like. This has an outer element. Ooh, come on, sit up here. And an inner element. Let's come out of here, forget. So anyway, this one's in here. I'm not going to try to do that with one hand because it's moving this whole thing. I'm going to take a paper towel. I'm going to wipe this out. Basically clean the inside of this. And then I'm going to stick the outer filter element in. Cleaner to filter the air. So I'm going to put the top on. It has this little thing. I want to make sure you get the dirt cleaned out of that. By squeezing it. I don't know if I got any of that. Yeah. Squeeze this little thing. Make sure there's dirt out of that. That's for moisture and water and stuff if it gets in there. And then make sure that goes toward the bottom. So much fun with one hand. All right, well, I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll get ready to go on to the next thing. The next quick thing on this list is the wheel bolt torque. So we're supposed to check that, okay? So I already did this. This stuff's on your periodic maintenance anyway, all right? So checking wheel bolt torque. I went through here and I figured this out. So I kind of just averaged these. So my front, I want 67 foot-pounds. The rear has a bolt, two different ones. That's 145 to 166. So you kind of go in between, and then there's a nut. But here's your front, okay? They are 17 millimeter. And here's the rear, which you can see are a nut and a bolt. They both get torqued to two different things. They are 22 mil, okay? So we're gonna get the front here. I'll show you one of these. All right, so basically I'm going to finish up all 4 of these and get those done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video right here, and we're going to start the next one out with some of the more important stuff as far as doing the hydraulic fluids and draining them. So I want to make those into a separate video. So stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for watching.